You're listening to The Upland Rookie, a podcast presented by Upland Brits. Welcome to episode 35 of the Upland Rookie Podcast. I'm your host, Will Larson, and as always, this is presented by Upland Brits. Also brought to you by Gunner Kennels. Man's best friend deserves man's best kennel. That's why I trust Gunner Kennels. Also brought to you by Trinity Bretons, home of the Epagneul Breton. All Trinity dogs are from champion bloodlines that are field tested and family approved. For 32 years, Trinity Bretons has worked to offer you the best bred Epagneul Bretons in the country. Also brought to you by a brand new sponsor to the Upland Rookie Podcast, Inukshuk Professional Dog Food. Ultimate performance, maximum nutrition, personal service. Check out Inukshuk Professional Dog Food at inukshukpro.com. And lastly, OnX Hunt. Know where you stand. Just because bird season is over in most parts of the country now, it is not too late to sign up or renew your membership with OnX Hunt. I use OnX a ton through this off-season time. We got spring turkey coming up here. I am on it constantly, looking at new land and topography and new layers and all that good stuff, as well as I'm using it constantly, looking ahead at September 1st, checking out new states, new areas, new walk-in land that I want to check out for next season. So use promo code TUR20 for 20% off your subscription with OnX Hunt. That's TUR20. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 35 of the podcast. Really excited to be back with you guys for another week, another episode. Chatting dogs, chatting hunting. Seasons are just coming to an end. I think Arizona closed a couple days ago. Utah, Nevada might be open for chucker here for a couple more days. I'm not positive on that, but I know things are coming to a close, and that's always a bittersweet time. Time just to reflect back, I think. I've been scrolling through my phone and just checking out photos that I forgot I had and forgot that I took. It's a fun time. Honestly, it can be sad that hunting season is over. Hunting wild birds is done. Most of the spots I'm hunting. So if you're one of the lucky ones that has a season still open for wild birds, good for you. I'm happy for you. I really am. But no, I do like this season that as things wrap up from the hunting season, I look forward to this time. I look forward to all the things that are ahead, just for me personally, with dogs and hunting and, just this time of year. It was a great season. I loved this past season. I hunted more than I ever have. Hunted new states, new birds, just totally new experiences. Hunted with new friends that I've never hunted with before. So I'm really thankful for this past season that I had. I couldn't have asked for a better season with my dogs, and just the time I was able to spend afield. Definitely made some lifelong memories, and I hope you guys did as well. I hope you got out there as much as you wanted to. I know that can be hard for some of us. I wanted to be out there more, but we got jobs and families and all that good stuff, and so I'm just thankful for the time I was able to spend out there, and health, and my back held up, which was a huge blessing. I know the season prior, my back went out, and a couple herniated discs and all that good stuff. So I was just thankful for health this season for myself, and I was able to get out there with my dogs. So, but yeah, looking forward to the spring and summer. There's so much I want to work on with Wynn. She completed her first season. She just turned 1, and I'm really looking forward to, just putting in extra time with her. I'm gonna get with my mentor a little bit and talk through kind of what we want to do as far as, possibly breaking her and where she's at and what would be most ideal for her to get her steady to wing shot and at least wing and shot would be great for now. But yeah, just there's some trials I want to try out and run her in. We got a bunch of NASTRA events I'm registered for the spring. I'm going to be doing with Gage, and so those are actually going to be coming up here pretty soon. That I'm pretty pumped for. So lots to look forward to, and then summer hits, and then it's just working them and conditioning them and making sure they're in top shape. And so lots to look forward to. So I'm excited. I hope you guys had a great season, and I'm just rambling now, so I will quit. But a couple things I wanted to get to. You guys probably noticed a new sponsor of the podcast, Inukshuk Professional Dog Food. I am so freaking stoked to be with Inukshuk Dog Food. Long story short, I'm not going to answer all the minute details right now of like, hey, why'd you leave the other company and go with Inukshuk? If you message me, we can talk and I can share some of my own personal thoughts and opinions, and all that. But I wanted a high quality, I wanted the best food for my dogs. And the more I researched and looked into Inukshuk, talked with the people at Inukshuk and asked questions and all that stuff. I mean, this is just a top-notch company, just doing things right, putting out some high-quality dog food for the avid bird dog who's working, who's an athlete, and who's burning a lot of calories and who needs a lot of calories during the off season, all that good stuff. And so, long story short, I actually was on Inukshuk last year before the podcast started, and I was loving it. I think it was really good. I came off another big name brand and went to Inukshuk, was loving it. Right before I started the podcast, got connected with my previous dog food sponsor, and I got all excited. I was super excited. I was like, all right, you know what? Like, they're offering me something. I'm gonna take it, and it was great. I mean, people I worked with were great, and but through this season, I was just noticing some things with the food and with the availability that I was getting kind of frustrated with, and reached back out to Inukshuk and started a conversation with them. And yeah, long story short, back on Inukshuk Professional Dog Food, and I am so excited. So high quality food. I cannot say enough. I could read you a bunch of things from the website, but it's not gonna. I mean, it's not gonna make sense probably. I am gonna have a guy named Brian from the Inukshuk team on the podcast actually here pretty soon. We're gonna dive in and pick the dog food apart and share a little bit more about it, what makes it unique, and just get to know Brian and the Inukshuk team a little bit more. But again, overall, top-notch companies based out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. And they have one mill that they have up there. Their quality control is top-notch at the mill up in New Brunswick. And just a great small operation, but they are putting out some really incredible dog food. And so I could not be happier to be with Inukshuk, and dogs are doing fantastic on it. And so, so all that to say, more to come on Inukshuk. On this podcast, I'll have Brian on in a few weeks, and you'll see more posts from me and Inukshuk and all that. So if you have any questions specific to the dog food right now, I will, try to answer them as best as I can. So feel free to shoot me a message, all that good stuff. But be looking for another episode with Brian from Inukshuk in a few weeks. So anyways, that's all with that. Couple more things. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Upland Slam, or the Nebraska Slam. I completed the Nebraska Slam. If you haven't seen that, I've been posting a bunch over on Instagram. Huge goal of mine, huge goal of mine to complete the Nebraska Slam. Tried it for a few years. It was not successful. Got part of the way there the year before. And this year the pieces came together, and so excited. I was able to do it over my own dogs on public land. Yes, public freaking land. And so I was really pumped to be able to do that, and just feel really thankful I was able to get out enough and complete this goal of mine. It goes back to early episodes that I talked about setting goals on. I think the Brooke Lanning episode, her and I talk about this all the time of just setting goals and making a plan to meet those goals. That's so key. And I'm not just talking about bird dogs and hunting world. anything in your life, like set a goal and then write out a plan of like, how are you going to meet that goal? Like, what are the steps that's going to take you there to complete that? And I did that with this. I wrote out, from dates and time off I was going to use and who I was going to go with and what area I was going to target. Like I wrote down steps to try to, check off in my head and on a list of saying, hey, if I want to complete this, if I've said I wanted to, well, how am I going to do it? And I'm going to try new areas. I'm going to go to this spot I've wanted to for years or whatever it was. So that was key to this success of completing the Nebraska Slam. So I encourage you, if you are near Nebraska, live around there. I mean, they got a great upland opportunities for different species, and it was a blast out there. It was an absolute blast. So thanks for all the encouragement along the way, and just those of you that reached out, you're like, hey, congrats, whatever. Thank you, appreciate it. Again, just a personal goal of mine that I wanted to complete on public land with my dogs in one season, and we did it. So anyways, last thing, I have a special announcement at the end of this episode, so make sure you stay around. End of this episode, I have something to announce, so you're not going to want to miss that. And we're going to dive into our conversation with Drew Rodman of Cuttin Coveys, Cuttin Coveys. And Drew and I actually met for the first time on a hunt out in the Sandhills of Nebraska, and we kicked off the season early September. My buddy Cade Springsteen, Cade and Drew drove up from Kansas, and we hunted the Sandhills in Nebraska. And man, we had a great time chasing sharp-tailed grouse up there. It was hot, it was a little bit rainy, but it was a great time. Chased birds for a few days, watched Drew get his first sharp-tail, watched Cade get his first sharp-tail, and Drew had a real young dog at the time, Zeno, who he still has and has completed his first season now. And Drew's also fairly new to upland hunting, and this was really his first full upland bird season. So we dive into that and get to know Drew more and what his first season was like and what it was like getting into upland hunting and his own dogs. And now he's starting his own kennel, Cuttin Coveys, the kennel. And so it's a fun conversation with Drew. Fair warning, audio quality, our connection maybe wasn't the best over Zoom. So apologize for that. We'll definitely try to get better connection speeds and all that going forward like I usually do. But just fair warning, and connection was cutting out a little bit here and there, so hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. But anyways, remember, stick around end of the episode, have a special announcement. Take care. Jump in kind of casually, it's kind of how I start. But what were you up to today? I think you were out on some horseback today.
Yeah, we went and ran some trials not trials, but we went and worked dogs with a bunch of the FDSB field trial guys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just went and ran dogs. It's awesome watching those they all run pointers. So
okay,
it's watching those dogs just really get out there. They're all age dogs. So
oh man,
they're quarter mile, half mile away from you.
Yeah, that's good. I got to get on a horseback. That sounds so cool.
It's cool. It changes things for sure.
Oh, I mean, you have just your vantage point. Like you can see the dog just covered differently, don't you?
Yeah. You see them. I mean, yeah, you're up higher, so you can see them just roaming the prairie, checking the cover. Yeah. Really, they in the fence rows and edge covers and stuff. Covers edge,
That's cool, man. I'm sure you got corrected pretty early, but did you ever call them English pointers?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
No, these are pointers.
Yeah. Just pointer. Just pointer. I have a buddy of mine who calls his GSP a pointer, and I'm like, I'm more comfortable now just saying pointers, and I'm talking about an English pointer. But right. I was like, that's gonna confuse people even more if you start calling GSPs pointers.
Yeah.
Well, cool, Cade. We're gonna kind of jump right in, or not Cade, Drew. You and Cade are so tight.
We are, yeah. We are.
You guys are like fast friends this year.
Yeah, I need to get on he's supposed to be helping me with all my social media shit. So,
oh, come on, Cade, get on it, man.
We're trying to make a big old promotional video and stuff. So
nice. Well, Cade, this is your call to action to help Drew out and get your butt in gear.
Yeah.
So Drew, put us on the map. Where are you talking to us from? And just give us a little overview about who you are.
So I'm Drew Rodman. I'm originally from Wichita, Kansas, but I'm now in Paola, Kansas, just south of Kansas City area. I've been up here for about a year and loving every minute of it so far.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Were you, or no, you did some work in Montana, right? Or did you live in Montana at all?
Yeah, so I worked up there off and on. We were putting in fiber optic cable up there, so we were there for a couple of years on and off. We got to jump around Nebraska quite a bit, but yeah, I spent some good time in Montana.
Okay, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm really excited to jump into your story here a little bit, and get to know you a little bit more, talk dogs, get more of the horseback stuff, training, all that stuff. This could be long, just warning you, but. First off, how's Zeno doing? I know he had a little injury happen. About a month ago now, right? Talk about that a little bit.
It was actually it was 3 weeks ago, I believe. We were out hunting in a field, an old farmstead, and we heard a dog yelp in the field, and Zeno came limping over to us, and he was just covered in blood. He actually got impaled by a stick is what the vet said he found in there. Ended up cutting an artery clear open, and he had to stitch that artery back together, then just staple up. It looked rough. It definitely scared you, put the hair up on your neck, and something that I was glad we were prepared for, and we're able to get the bleeding stopped, wrapping it up in the field.
Dude, that looked nasty. And I bet, because I was one of them, I bet every upland hunter that follows you and saw that was checking their first aid kit.
Yep. Make sure you have it.
Dude. So they actually found a stick in there. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They found, it was like a little 1/4 inch of a little twig. It snapped right off into it.
Dang, man. Yeah. That looked gnarly. Yeah.
It was definitely gross, and it definitely scared us pretty good. So.
Dude, I'd be freaking out. What, so what did you do? I mean, first off, how did you what were you feeling at the time? And what'd you do in the moment?
I was in shock, but I don't know. We kept our heads on pretty straight. We're like, okay, it's cut. We grabbed the first aid kit pretty quickly, and we just held Zeno down, wrapped him up real tight, just packed it full of gauze. And then, just tightened it up real tight, that gauze wrap, that shrink wrap or whatever.
Yeah.
And luckily we were only about 15 minutes from a vet. So
that's nice.
We got into the vet real quick, and they pretty much took it from there.
That's awesome.
I thought about stapling it myself, but I didn't think I was quite ready for that yet.
2.0.
Glad I didn't.
I carry a stapler. I know a lot of people do. But it's a good point you make, because I'm sure people are, I'd be tempted to, but also right. I'd be tempted to say, oh, am I going to screw it up more? Is it going to waste more time?
Right. I definitely, whenever we were in there, I definitely talked to the vet and kind of have him show me how he did it and what to look for, what not to do. I just made sure to ask the right questions in case I was in that situation again.
That's smart. Did he, in that scenario, did he say if that exact injury were to happen, did he say it was you could have stapled it and it would have been fine, or no?
Stapled it. He said it wouldn't have been a big deal, but he just wanted to make sure it was clean. And I'm glad we didn't, because we did find a little stick in there, so you just want to make sure you have everything out, I guess, before you do that and get whatever. But he said what we did was perfect. He said we slowed the bleeding, got it wrapped up real tight, couldn't move. And he said we did a good job with what we did. So
was Zeno, was he acting was he going into shock at all, or was he
not really?
Fine?
He looked at me like, Dad, that hurt. And then he sat right next to me and just put his head on the lap, and we drove to the vet.
Dang, man. That's scary for sure. That did not look fun.
Yeah. And I quickly learned that dogs staples. Within 2 days, he had them all ripped out and doing just fine. Just normal Zeno things, acting like nothing ever happened.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. I haven't seen Zeno probably since September, because I think that was when we hunted the Sandhills together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, he must be a big boy now.
He's smaller than what I thought he would be.
Really?
Yeah. He's right around like the 35, 36 pound range.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I'm hoping
that's a great, that's a good size still. I mean, it's well on the smaller side, but
him and like love the size he is, but I don't know. I'm hoping to maybe get a little bit of weight on him this summer. And he ran a lot this year. So
definitely.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're going to try to get some weight on him a little bit, but he's definitely a great size for what I like. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. How's your other dog doing? I don't think I met the older one you had.
Abby, she lives with an ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She moved on.
She moved on.
Okay.
She's the best dog I'll ever have. She's still my favorite dog. But yeah, she's ended up with her. So
okay, gotcha. That's we'll move on. We'll move on.
Yeah.
Well, since we're kind of on Zeno a little bit, let's just chat about him a little bit. How was his first season? I mean, he jumped into, kicked off things in the Sandhills in September, and how did he progress kind of throughout this year?
So he did great. I mean, when we were in the Sandhills, he was 3.5 months old, and
little.
He was little. I had done a little bit of gunfire introduction. I would not really recommend starting a dog that young, but at the same time, man, they're bird dogs.
Sure.
So that if he came to me and he didn't want to do it, I would have let him stop. It wouldn't have been no deal. But with him kept wanting to go, then I was just going to feed that for him. I was just going to let him do what he does best. And yeah, he did really good this season. I ended up guiding at a little local preserve, and he ended up being my best dog that I guided with.
That's awesome.
Was my top bird finder, was retrieving naturally, honored other dogs. Just, he picked it up quick and he did it well.
That's so cool. That's so cool. 'Cause yeah, when he was out in the Sandhills with us, because he was little, he was only 3.5 months or so. I was just impressed with how he was going with you. Like we'd be walking and he would just kind of, hang out in front of you and do his thing. And,
right.
He wasn't out there 50, 100 yards, but for 3.5 months, like that was perfect for him. Just getting some experience and going with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You can't expose a dog. Like nothing beats wild bird hunting with a young dog. Like just giving them that exposure, letting them figure out new environments, all of that. It's so beneficial to them, I think.
Absolutely. You said he's got a natural retrieve right now as well. Yeah.
I mean, he brings it within about 5 foot of me, which, for a puppy, I can't expect too much more. He does bring some of them to hand every once in a while. He gets to eat a little extra those days. But yeah, for the most part, he brings it in about 5 foot of me, and that's without force fetch or anything like that. I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. That's perfect. I mean, it looked like you were hitting hunting pretty hard this year, whether it was, guiding or you were getting after the Kansas birds pretty good, it looked like. And I know you had a trip to Arizona as well.
Yeah, no, I was able to do quite a bit of hunting. I ended up tallying it out to 123 days.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. My goal was 60 at the beginning of the season, and I got about a quarter of the way through and I said, screw it, we're going for 100. And then it was 110 and then 120. And I'm kind of mad at myself. I didn't hit 130.
Well done, man. I am thoroughly jealous.
Yeah. It's definitely a season I'll always remember, and something that I'm going to be chasing to do again every other year. Absolutely. I bet that's going to be a hard one to top. I bet maybe not in the amount of days, maybe you'll get out there more, but just in the memories I'm sure that you made. Maybe in the next years, I can knock a couple more birds down. We're going to get into that. Don't worry. Yeah. Cool, man. So let's back up a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about how did this all start as far as, you getting into upland hunting, dogs. I know you're starting your own kennel. Let's back way up. What got you started into upland hunting? So I always grew up with short hairs. We've always had them as like family pets, but we never really hunted. And so after college, I ended up getting my own short hair, and she was just my pet. You know, we did everything together, and I was up in Montana working, and this old farmer drove by because he sees a short hair riding on a backhoe driving down the middle of a country road. And he's like, "Hey, do you ever hunt that dog?" And I was like, "Oh, I mean, she points birds every now and again, but no." And he ended up taking me out a couple times, and I just fell in love with it. I got to watch my older dog, Abby, point a sharp tail and a couple Hungarian partridge for the first time, and I was hooked. From there, it was just all or nothing. Bird dogs is what I want to do.
So it was fast and furious for you. Just this old farmer driving by and said, "Hey."
Yeah, literally is that guy. He changed my world just by saying, "Hey, do you know what these dogs can actually do?" And once I learned what they actually can do, like I knew they were hunting dogs. I knew they did all of that, but like what they're really capable of, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And it's just something that blew me away, and I want every part of it now.
I don't know if this is true for you as well. It is for me. Thinking back in my childhood and growing up, I would view a hunting dog as, oh, that's cool. They can train a dog to do that, or train a dog to hunt or point birds. But once you really kind of realize like that turning point of, oh, so much of this is ingrained in them. It's in their DNA. That's where that like light bulb was like, oh my gosh, that's the cool part for me.
Yeah, no, it's literally, how does a dog know to just go point a bird? How does it smell? How does it, the capabilities of them and what they're just naturally born and able to do just blows me away every day.
Yeah. Did you grow up hunting at all? Like big game, other small game?
Yeah, my family, we have a ranch, and we always hunted deer, and we do the occasional turkey, and it was something we'd take off school on the opening weekend or whatever throughout the first of opening week, and we'd do that. But it was always just too easy. We didn't ever have no spot in stock. We had feeders and deer stands, and I just always thought it was too easy. So I never really got drawn into the big game kind of stuff. And I know now that it can be very different, and it's very different out on public land and stuff like that.
Sure.
But it was just, growing up, deer hunting was too easy.
You're like, come on, give me a challenge, something I can move and walk.
Yeah.
So this past season, was this your true like first upland season with your dogs or hunting in general for upland birds?
So last season I went out probably 7 to 10 times.
Okay.
Got a couple birds last season, but yeah, this season I went into it knowing that this would be my first real season, and I wanted to make it count.
I'm laughing because you went balls to the wall. Like you got the dogs, man. You put in the work, you put in the miles. Like it was fun watching the journey, from afar over social media and chat with you.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be getting some more dogs, so there's going to be more to come.
Oh, absolutely. And you got some more dogs too. You still got some of those setter pups.
Yeah, I do.
That's awesome, man. Well, let's, as we kind of wrap up this part on your season, what I wanted to ask you, like, what was like the hardest thing going into this season? Like 120 days you hunted a lot. You had your own dogs. I mean, you were doing a lot of this work yourself, hunting with new friends, all that stuff. Like, what was the hardest part just of this past year for you as a new upland hunter?
Really, I can't say it was finding the spots to go, because onX makes that so easy. But honestly, it's just having, really the funds to go do it, because all of that stuff is expensive. But you just got to do it, really, is what I told myself. Like, there's 1,000 excuses why I can't go this weekend, 1,000 excuses why I shouldn't go. But really, I just went and did it.
That's good. So so just get it, like put the excuses put the excuses aside and just get out
Put
there.
the excuses aside, just get out there, go. And if you can make a friend and invite them go with you, then even better,
Yeah. Yeah. When you're thinking about, maybe not just this past season, but, even the season prior, like being a new hunter in the upland space, like, was there any like hurdles you had to overcome or anything that was a roadblock that you kind of had to power through or navigate? Like, was there anything like difficult about the experience, like getting into upland hunting for you?
Really not really. It's just going and walking in a field with your dog and follow your dog, man. Trust your dog, follow your dog. Just put them in a spot that you think might look good. I guess learning habitat for different species of birds was kind of cool learning this year.
Yeah.
I really focused on kind of where I found the birds. So I guess just learn where you think birds might be. And
yeah, I feel like that's an endless thing. I'm still picking up like the habitat side of things. Like I started to figure some things out even more this year. And like, I feel that, there's some guys that can like quote kinds of bushes and grass. And I'm like, to a certain degree I can, but then there's like another level of like, oh, that's a whatever.
I went out with a couple of guys that they named every type of grass, every tree, every seed, every crop. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah. I was like, I can't, maybe I'll get there someday, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm not there. I was going to ask you one more thing on that, but totally slipped my mind. So we're going to keep moving on. Well, very cool, man. It looks like you had a great season, and I think that was super fun. Just as much as you were able to hunt and get out there with your dogs and just figure it out. Like that's half the fun of it too, is just figuring it out yourself. And
right.
Just getting out there.
I hope that I have made some good friends, and my friends have been doing it a little bit longer than I have. So they had some areas, they knew some areas, new habitat. And so really just meeting the people that have helped me along the way as well.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things we'll get into here in a little bit, is kind of like that mentor side, especially like dog training. It looks like you're hanging around with some maybe older guys that are, helping along with like kind of the training route. Like, I mean, even from personal experience, having that mentor, having someone and friends who have just done it a little longer is, I mean, as you probably know, so key.
Yeah. So key, so beneficial.
Yeah. It's like those are the ones you want to have on your favorites list of your phone, because you're going to be out there and be like, okay, I have this question, or,
Yeah,
you're going to need them. So let's talk about your dogs a little bit, man. I know you got Zeno. He's a short hair. You're going, you deviated a little bit. You went the setter route, man. Talk about that a little bit.
I did. So I do just want to clarify that I am a short hair guy.
Are you sure? You sure about that?
More setters than short hairs right now. But yeah, no, I found these two little English setters on the internet, and I kind of always knew I wanted one. I love that flag of a tail, but I fell in love with, I saw them and I was like, okay, this is cool. And I originally only went to go get one, but then I kind of started talking to the guy, and I kind of told him what I was doing with guiding a little bit and how much I was hunting. And he's like, well, I think you should just take both of them. And I was like, okay, Bonnie and Clyde it is. I'll take them both. So yeah, I ended up getting the two setters. They're 4.5 months old now.
Oh, so they're young. Okay.
They're young. They're real young. Yeah, my whole kennel, they're all young around here.
That's all right.
Young. But we'll get there. But yeah, I got them and I've loved having them. The little female, she is just, I've never seen a dog so bird crazy. She shakes and trembles, and she's just, I can't keep her contained, really. She escapes the backyard, goes and trying to find those quail.
That's awesome, man. What was it about the setter that said, even that you were thinking about one? Like, what was like, hey, I want the setter? Like, did you just want to shake things up? Like, was it the tail? Like, what was there anything in particular?
I've only ever really worked with short hairs. So I kind of had the off-season goal of, okay, I want to work with more dogs. I want to grow my knowledge. I want to do that. So I was like, okay, I kind of want a setter. let's find a setter. And it was more of the goal of working with different breeds of dogs and trying to understand the dogs more.
That's awesome, man. I mean, more experience, you can have with other breeds and temperaments.
Exactly.
That's only going to help.
Every single one of them, the short hair and the setter, completely different. But even the setters from each other, like I'm really realizing every dog really is their own dog, and they all have completely different personalities, different temperaments, different ways to even I handle them because of how they react to things.
Wow. Are the setters brother and sister?
Yes, they are.
Okay. That's cool, man. That's cool. Have you, so what have you done with the setters so far? So what, 4 months? Like what kind of, from when you picked them up, what have you kind of been doing with them?
Well, I just kind of exposed them to fields real early, different kinds of grasses, running in different environments. That's really what I did a lot of, but then I started getting pigeons out around them, started just getting them to love birds. I do a lot of like the positive pigeon drill, just getting them stopped, realizing that birds mean stop. I've done a lot of that, and I fired the blank pistol around them a couple times, made sure they weren't gun shy. And then
it's always a relief. It's always a relief, isn't it? When you fire the first blank and they act fine.
Yeah. They're like, okay, I didn't even know that was there. I just wanted to find more birds. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's been awesome having them, and their training. I've done some place training with them as well, just because I want an obedient dog. I taught them to sit, and apparently that's a big no-no for setters. I got crap for that from my mentor. He's like,
sure.
Don't teach a bird dog to sit, apparently.
Yeah. I've heard that. I've been told.
Yeah. But
it's all good. It's your dog.
Everybody's got their own dog,
Exactly. And these dogs, you own them, and you get to do what you want.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. How did you take them to Arizona with you?
I did not take the pups. I figured that I still hadn't done my gun intro for them.
Oh, okay.
Hadn't done that, but I did end up taking them out on the closing weekend of Kansas, and got to watch them point their first covey of quail.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's what got me excited for them, was two setters standing side by side. Both of them just head high, tail high, just looked beautiful.
Oh, what a way to wrap up the season right there.
Yeah. And we ended up actually taking 3 birds for them too. So
heck yeah.
Yeah. Can't get back.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Where'd you pick your setters up from? Just some local breeder, or?
It was just a local guy. Okay. They come out of I don't know if you know the setter lines very much, but the Takoya Mountain Sunrise.
Oh, I've heard it name tossed around, but
yeah, they're big chucker dogs and out west big running dogs. So that's also kind of what I was going for, was a big running setter, big running dog just out in front. So
yeah. What, now that Zeno's a little older, like, has he kind of found his gear of where's he running for you?
So I would say he's within 100 yards. I would say between that 50 and 100, depending on his cover, but he checks things real thoroughly. I feel like he's not going to be the furthest dog out there. He's not going to do things, but if he covers an area, I trust that he at it and got everything in the area he's covering.
That's good. I mean, he's being meticulous, and
yeah,
that's good, man. So how did you get connected with these mentors of yours?
I just be outgoing, just mess, I'm too persistent not to meet people, I guess, because I bug them if I want them, or if I want to see their dogs, or I'm just like, hey, you want to work dogs sometime? You want to do this? You want to do that? And once I get to meet them, then it's kind of, we all have a common interest, bird dogs. And I'm learning things. I kind of explain that I'm wanting to learn as much as I can. I'm wanting to do everything. And I've just been lucky that the guys that I have found really did just take me under their wing and are doing and helping me out so much.
That's huge, man. I want to definitely spend some time on that, because I think that's what you said there's really key. Because a lot of people I'll talk to, they always kind of ask, like, hey, how do I find that mentor? How do I get connected? And, I do realize there can be just a gap there. And some people, people don't want to either mentor people or show people or teach them.
Right.
But I think kind of the approach you took was like kind of being persistent, like whether it's kindly bugging or, showing up and just be like, hey, everyone wants to show off their dog. So, that persistence, I think, pays off. And I think that can be a lesson, I think, for a lot of people out there who are looking or wanting, someone to kind of teach them. Right.
Yeah. I will say taking a bag of bird feed or taking blank rounds to somebody that you want to show, that goes a long ways for those people. It shows that you're not just there taking their time. You want to learn, you want to help out how you can and provide what you can,
Absolutely. It goes a long way. I mean, it's just kindness and, being thoughtful, and it's going to stand out to those people. So that's good, man. Good for you of, being persistent, being kind, and, just being there to learn.
Just being there to learn. Yeah.
That's huge. What, so are these guys, are they into a lot of the trials and the kind of horseback AKC stuff, or what are they kind of working on?
Yeah. So they are FDSB, which is Field Dog Stud Book trials. Okay. They're all back. So 98.5% of the guys that I've met, they're all pointers. They're big ranging, all age, quarter mile, half mile down the road pointers, Yeah. Like it's something crazy to watch. But yeah, they don't kill birds. They say we don't have enough birds.
They're just firing the blanks, and
they're firing the blanks. They said, no, don't go kill those birds. We need those. So I get a lot of grief for that, but
oh, sure.
Yeah, they do the FDSB stuff and a lot back, and yeah,
that's cool. Is that something you are going to want to get into, or like, are you kind of looking at different trials that you want to do, or what are you thinking?
I'm going to be going somewhere completely different. That I think, well, one, I don't have the dogs to run like that. But I'm mainly going to be focusing on like the AKC hunt test. I want to put a master hunter on dogs, and I want to have that, but also the Nastra trials I want to get into a little bit, and I want Zeno to get a little older, my other dogs to get a little older, and then we'll see where we can go from there with the Nastra stuff. But for now, I'll probably focus on the AKC and with Zeno, the NAVDA testing system.
Oh, NAVDA as well?
Yeah. Nice. He comes from NAVDA line. So okay. I figured I got to do my due diligence and test it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You got lots of good options out there for sure. That's the cool thing is I've been talking to a bunch of different people on here about different types of trials and Nastra and AKC stuff and all that. And there's a lot of good options. I feel there's options out there for whatever, we're into or what kind of dog you have. And right. It's all fun, man. It's all really fun.
Great. But it is crazy how many different there are.
That's true.
Like each dog can really specify, like one dog can be great in one, but not do a dang thing in the other, Yeah. It's just a game for your dog and what your dog excels in.
Yeah. I mean, there's almost, it's good. There's options, but there's almost like too many options too. Cause it's like, because again, with training, like you need to kind of really hone in on, again, I know dogs can do multiple events and all that, but right. I don't think it's really hard to bounce back and forth. Like within a month, going to a national trial, then a NAVDA, then the AKC, like that's not going to work. So right. like, you really got to focus the time and on one event for a while. And it's, it can be, you got to pick your poison, I guess.
Exactly.
That's awesome, man. Do you do much duck hunting at all, or is it just strictly upland right now?
So I did go on a couple hunts. I try to go on a couple of waterfowl hunts every year. My brother's a big waterfowl guy and likes duck hunting and goose hunting. So I promised him I'd have a short hair better than any lab he'd ever had. So that's kind of why I do it, just to talk crap on my brother. Now I need to get the dog to do it though.
I was going to say, you better make good on that promise.
Yeah, I'm going to try my best.
Oh man. Let's talk about Arizona a little bit. What'd you learn in Arizona? That was a big endeavor for you. I know you went down there with Jeremy. What'd you learn?
Really just the different habitats that each species of quails in, really. It changes so much. I mean, granted, the Gambles and the Scaly are in somewhat of the same area, but yeah, just the different habitats that each quail are in and what kind it'll look for with all of that. But it was really more just the experience of going down there and getting to do that stuff for the first time, you know. You can only get there at finding birds if you go look for them a couple times.
You gotta walk. You gotta. Onyx only shows you so much.
Exactly. It doesn't potholes that I seem to fall into all the time. Badger hole.
Oh, is there a good story with this?
No. Well, I'm thinking tearing ACLs a couple times, but no.
Jeez. Oh, was the cactus as bad as they say it is?
So it was bad. Yes, it definitely tore the dogs up. The dogs' feet really struggled. But really, I hunted the Cimarron National Grassland in Kansas, and I thought that was much worse.
Really?
Zeno didn't really want to walk through it. Didn't really care to be hunting because he was worried about his feet the whole time.
Oh wow!
Everything sticking to him, and then down there it wasn't nearly as bad.
Really? Wow.
It didn't seem like the cactus down there really stuck to him. Yes. Whereas in the Cimarron, it really, everything grabbed him.
Oh, geez. I think someone else was telling me that. Yeah, about the Cimarron. The Cimarron was just really, really bad.
Super rough on a dog. I honestly, I don't know if I'll probably do it again if someone asks, but I don't. It's not a sought out destination.
Okay. Is that the only place you can find scalies in Kansas?
That part of the corner, yes.
Okay.
They say there's some up a little bit north of there, but yeah, for the most part, that would be your best bet.
Okay. It was on my list to get down to southeast Colorado this year to chase scalies here. And it's like really close to the Cimarron. I was like, oh, maybe I'll duck over there too, but it didn't happen. But definitely want to get down there.
Scalies.
What's that?
I didn't realize they had scalies in Colorado.
Yeah, we do. Again, I say this and I take some crap for it, but Colorado has a lot of species, but I just don't think we have a lot of each species.
Yeah.
So there's like, I think 9 or 10 upland bird species here. It's, sage grouse, sharptail, pheasant, bobwhites, scalies, a couple other ones I'm missing, but yeah, so we got them, but you just gotta walk extra far. Exactly. My vet does really good actually down in Colorado, southeast, and I gotta try to get out there with him maybe one day to show me a little bit.
Yeah.
But well, cool. Anywhere else you hunted this year? Did you get to Nebraska at all, or any other states?
Yeah, so I started off in the Sandhills of Nebraska. Did that with you and Cade. That was a great time as well. First Sharpie, got that. And then I ended up going up to the Northwoods to try out some grouse and woodcock hunting.
Oh, you got to the Northwoods, man. Nice.
Yeah, that was fun. That was cool. And at that point, he had just turned 4 months. And he had probably 150 bird contacts because we timed that migration right.
No way.
2 days, he had probably 150 bird contacts, and he really figured out the woodcock. Wow. So that was really cool to watch and really good for him. But yeah, I hunted Nebraska, Wisconsin, Kansas, and Arizona. So,
man. That's a hell of a time. That's for sure.
I wish I would have stuck Montana in there. I didn't go because of the drought stuff and all of that.
Yeah, the drought.
And then I saw everybody go up there and hammer. And I was like, dang it, I knew it.
Yeah, it was awful, man. The drought was terrible. I mean, basically no birds up there, so it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it looked like it in your post.
Yeah, it was just terrible. No one should ever go. Oh man. Dude, talk to me about Cuttin Coveys, the kennel. What are you doing there, and how did this come about?
So I'm nervous for it. I'm definitely excited for it.
You always should be. You always should be. When something new, you should always be nervous. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. But really, it's other people motivating. Well, I wouldn't say motivating me, but just encouraging me to, hey, man, like you could really do this. You have the spot. Again, my mentor has really, really helped me out and he's lending me his training grounds. He's lending me things and really pushing me to start this and really try to become one of my own and really figure out this bird dog stuff. So it's more people kind of giving me the confidence to do it. My want to do it, I guess, is what I would say. Yeah. Everyone always says to go and find or go work and do what you love. Well, this is what I love. So I want to try to make the bird dog thing come true.
Dude, that's awesome. That is, following something you want to do and you love to do, and it doesn't get much better than that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just more of, I love doing this. I love waking up. I love seeing the dogs. So if I can make that something that I could do every day, then I'm young enough right now to where let's give it a shot.
It's why not, right?
Why not? I can go back to another, everyone's hiring. I can go get another job tomorrow.
Yeah. Totally. You're like, let's give it a shot. Worst thing that happens is I spent a bunch of time with dogs. I mean,
exactly.
Did you, are you still working at your other job, or are you full on in the kennel right now?
Right now I'm working somewhere else, but I'm planning on starting up and early April 1st is the target date. And once that happens, and yeah, I'm full-time bird dog. I'm all in.
That's great, man. That's great. So it sounds like you got a little piece of property that works well for this.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got, about 20 acres to live on. And then we've got, close to about 3,000 to train on. So,
oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's perfect. And where in Kansas, you say? Is this Eastern Kansas?
It's just south of Kansas City. So South Kansas City, Paola, Kansas.
Okay. Right on. Is this too soon to talk about your Chiefs, or?
Yeah, that was a disappointing game. But we'll be back. We'll be back.
I mean, hey, I was just watching the Pro Bowl before this, and Mahomes had a great throw. So I mean, he's doing all right.
Yeah. He's all right. Well, yeah, he throws the ball in the other team's hand quite a bit. But
sorry, too soon, man. Too soon. I had to throw it in there.
Yeah.
Let's say again.
Are you a Broncos fan?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well then you don't have to worry about that for a long time.
Oh no. We won't be competitive for a long time. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Even if we get Rodgers, there's talk of him coming to Denver, and I'm like, I don't know.
I would like to see that.
It'd be cool for sure. I just don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see. I have doubts until I see a contract written up.
Right.
So my son would be very happy though. My son's a huge Rodgers fan, so he'd be bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, be awesome.
All right, back on topic to the kennel. So like starting this new endeavor, you're following your passion with starting this kennel up. What's been like the hardest thing, like getting this thing off the ground right now? Like, anything that like kind of the question I asked you earlier, like anything that's been difficult, like starting a kennel, like talk to people out there, like just what's your experience been?
Again, it's, having the kennel space, having the equipment, the proper equipment, all the training gear that you need. And it's really the little things that you don't even think about, I've learned that, we've got kennels here, we've got all that, but now we need insulated dog houses. Now we need this and that. And it's just little things come into factor that you have to play, and you have to think of those things before you can really do something like that. Really, and also just the knowledge of having it, like being able to, you also have to be able to run the books and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And that's the part I'm kind of struggling with here is, I love the dogs, but the books inside of that stuff is, but then also you got to figure out what training you want to do, what kind of method you want to use with your dogs. And that's kind of something I've been spending a lot of time on, is figuring out, okay, what method do I want to use, or how do I want to go about training these dogs? So it's just style, I would say.
Yeah, that's a lot for sure. What kind of, where are you at in the process right now of method? Like, are you still, is it still kind of up in the air? Are you kind of leaning one way or the other?
I've read a couple of the Delmar Smith books, and I love a couple of things out of there. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, the Standing Stone stuff. I've taken a couple of things from that. But really it's just kind of, I feel like there's 1,000 ways to train a dog. It's just which way works best for you and which way works best for that dog in specific. So it's nice to have a couple different tricks and knowledge on which, like, how to kind of do that. But I would say that I have followed a lot of like the Smiths and Ronnie Smiths and Delmar, stuff like that. So
nice, man. That's good stuff. I mean, you hit it on the head. There's a million ways to train a dog. Yeah. You just got, like you said, find what works for the dog, what works for you. And sounds like, you're still in that learning phase. You're still like going to figure out, and you're soaking everything up and saying, hey, I like this part from Standing Stone. I like this part from the Smiths. And
right.
You're going to put a killer program together. So it's going to be great.
Hopefully so. Hopefully.
Don't worry. As long as you're great with dogs, man, people don't care how you run the books. I don't think.
I know. As long as dog hunts and is well behaved and everything. Yeah.
I mean, just ask everyone to pay cash and just keep it easy.
Yeah. Easy.
Oh man. Well, cool, man. So kind of as we kind of wrap up here, I like to ask everyone kind of, what advice would you give someone who's, new to upland hunting, new to bird dogs, just getting started? Like, you're relatively new yourself. What's some advice you'd give the person out there that's just getting into bird dogs and upland hunting?
I would find somebody to help. Go find a mentor, because the knowledge that people already, if you want to learn how to do something, go find somebody that's already doing that thing. They have so much knowledge already. And even if they don't have a lot of knowledge, and it's just somebody to go out and do it with, it keeps you accountable. It keeps each other accountable to, hey, we want to go work this dog, or I want my dog to be better. Finding somebody has really helped me and changed my, like, I view my mentor as a dad or a grandfather now, It's the connections you make with somebody that also has the same passions with you. It's amazing, and it really will change and help you in so much.
That's incredible. The one piece you said, I totally agree with. It's even just the accountability to get out there, like someone to go hunting with, or, cause there's days, I'll have a solo hunt plan and I don't feel like getting out of bed. I'm like, it's just me, it's great still, but having that person, like, hey, my buddy Zach, he's waiting for me at the Nebraska state line and we're going to go. And it pushes you more.
It does. Having somebody hold you accountable and hold them accountable will make it a whole lot of difference.
Absolutely. Well, cool, man. We're going to jump into kind of our last section here, rapid fire round, and just a couple quick questions for you, and just give me your off the cuff answer. And if you want to expand on any of them, you're more than welcome to, but we'll kind of wrap up. All right.
Okay,
cool. What gun are you carrying out in the field this season, and why?
It's an American Tactical 12 gauge.
Okay.
Carry it because it was the $400 gun, at Academy Sports, and it was the lightest.
Heck yeah.
It's actually a super light gun. Like it's next to nothing. It's a lot lighter than the CZs and the Brownings and everything else I've held this year. So it was a great Upland gun for me.
That's awesome. Is it semi-auto or a pump?
It's over and under.
Oh, over and under. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Favorite dog breed besides the one you own? So no setters and no short hairs.
I would say probably the English or the red setter, the Irish setter.
Oh, okay.
I see those on Instagram all the time, and I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. That looks good.
You are the first one to ever on this podcast in 35 episodes to say a red setter.
Huh. Well, there's something about them that looks good.
And no, I agree. I don't even know if I follow any red setter accounts. I might need to.
Well, yeah, they look good. So I'd find a couple.
Absolutely, man. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Favorite bird to hunt and why?
It's got to be Hungarian partridge, and that's just because my older dog that was what she first pointed, and that's what got me going. I haven't had the shot. I've never shot one. I've just seen them pointed. So, but
that's awesome. It burned in your memory so good.
And like I've hunted a lot of birds this year, and for some reason, the one I haven't got was the one that really just
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love that that's your favorite bird and you haven't shot one. That's the best.
Yeah. Well, I'll be hell this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just don't bring any of your friends to Montana or North Dakota. Yeah. Except me and Cade.
Right. Right. We can do that.
Yeah. Okay. That'll be cool. We'll talk to Jeremy up there. We'll figure something out.
Yeah. I've got a 3-week Montana bird camp planned. So
yes. Let's talk and let's coordinate something.
Yeah.
All right. Couple more here. All right. This is honesty time, Drew. How many birds did you miss this year?
I would say around 70 to 100.
Oh, that was higher than I thought.
Yeah. No, I missed a lot of birds. Dude. This off season is a shooting range kind of.
Just get the ammo. Just start grabbing all the ammo.
Every single time I find some, I buy it because I need the practice.
Oh, dude. I appreciate the honesty. First off,
I'm not even kidding. On my Kansas tour that I did with my brother, I started off great. You know, we get up, Covey gets up, pull a single, walk 100 yards, pull a double out of the next Covey.
Oh, so you're feeling good.
I was feeling great. I thought I was on it. Go the next 3 days without hitting a single bird. And we had so yeah, it was rough. Zeno looked at me like he was ready to trade me in.
It's like, I'm done with this shit. What is this?
Yeah.
That's what happens, man. Whenever I get in a shooting slump, it always comes after I think I'm doing awesome. I'm like knocking everything down. I'm like, this is awesome. And then I go like, however how long without hitting anything.
As many as I did.
That is more than I thought. I was thinking like, I don't know, 20, 25, something like that.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I missed a lot.
That's good, man. That's good. It's all for the dogs, right? It's all about the pointing the birds.
Yeah.
You want to save birds, conservation.
Saving birds for the future. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're just doing your part, so I get it. All right, last one. Beverage of choice after a hunt.
I'm a big craft beer guy, and I enjoy a nice sour afterwards.
Oh, no, sorry. Can't go sours. You had me on craft beer, but
yeah, I like the sours. I like the IPAs. But really, if I can find a 6-pack of some craft beer, then that's probably what I'm drinking at the end of a hunt.
That's the way to go. Does Kansas have some good breweries? Around you, at least?
Up around the KC area, there's quite a few really good ones. KC Beer Company is a great one. They've got a really good sour that I like. So
nice. Okay. I've only tried one sour. I bought a 6-pack of sour like 2 summers ago. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I'll try something new. Never again, man. I was like, oh, what is this?
Yeah, I remember give you that one up in the Sandhills, but I think you tried it and didn't like that one either. So.
Was it like was that purple one? It was like purple. Yeah. You know, I don't know if I might drink half of that and then I might have dumped it out, but
yeah.
Oh man. All right, Drew. If people have questions, if they want to reach out, just talk dogs, training, the kennel, like how can they get in touch with you?
Instagram is probably the best way. Cuttin Coveys on Instagram, or I did just create a Facebook page. It's a group for now. So, that'll also just be Cuttin Coveys Kennel. Or you can, I'd say reach out to me on there.
Cool. You were about to give your phone number, weren't you?
I remember some of that in the past there, and I was like, oh, who remembers the phone number from the podcast?
Yeah. No, I had someone, I think last episode, Josh Ryder gave out his phone number, and he's like, yeah, shoot me a text, shoot me a message, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool.
All right.
It's out there.
It's out.
Well, Drew, thanks so much, man. This is fun catching up with you, and it's been really fun following along your journey this season and seeing you with some young dogs. So I appreciate your time. Yeah, no, I really appreciate the opportunity to be on, and I'm looking forward to it. Maybe I'll see you at a hunt test or a field trial this summer. Yeah, we're close, man. So we may. I've looked at some Kansas stuff, so. And I know, I got some Nashville trials coming up this spring to do. So not too far. Cool. Well, hopefully I see you out there. Definitely, man. Well, Drew, you have a great rest of your night, and thanks for jumping on here. All righty, man. Later. Thanks. Bye. That's a wrap of episode 35 of the Upland Rookie Podcast. I want to thank my sponsors, Inukshuk Professional Dog Food, Gunner Kennels, Trinity Bretons, and OnX Hunt. Drew, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate having you on. Thanks for your time, and I love that we got to kick off the season together in the Sandhills of Nebraska. Excited for you and your endeavors coming up here with the kennel, Cuttin Coveys, and excited to see what you do with that. So, hey, and then 2 more things for everyone. First, if you could leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it's really going to help this podcast get out there to more hunters just like you. And lastly, my announcement I wanted to make was I have hats coming. Yes, hats are coming. I am doing a run of both Upland Brit hats as well as the Upland Rookie Podcast hats. So stay tuned. Just be patient with me. Working on a couple things. Picked out colors and hat styles the other day. Working with an awesome company to get those to you ASAP. I'm also waiting on a logo tweak from my brother. So a couple things in the works, but just know more hats are coming. Both Upland Brit and Upland Rookie hats are coming your way soon. So stay tuned for more on that. Thanks so much, guys. Remember, put some miles on those boots and follow your favorite bird dog. Take care.